over kind of the meat and potatoes of the portal, which there's a lot of stuff in there, but what our partners are going to be doing the most of in their portal is inventory management. So sharing my screen here, when you log into our beautiful portal, you will land on the dashboard page, kind of like our KPI tab of the analytics dashboard. It's just a snapshot of where they are during, for the day that it's on. But everything, like I said, the meat and potatoes inventory management is really going to reside under this drop-down option. And we're going to start pretty high level and kind of drill in into like the deeper levels of inventory. But let me see here where everything really starts is we're going to start the rooms. When you're doing your onboard training calls, when you get to the inventory piece, inventory rooms is a good place to start. Just kind of puts things in a context of how all of the inventory data works and can be saved. So when partners first launch, typically they're going to have a sales floor room. And then I think Deal Desk kind of sets them up with a sales floor. And then I think maybe like a backstock room, but our partners can create as many inventory rooms as they'd like. Sometimes creating an inventory room specifically for like promotions that they're preparing for 420 being a good example, is a good way to get all of the, their 420 promo items in their system, priced and on deck, ready to move to the sales floor when their promotion starts. When you create a new inventory room, you can give it a name, and then you can give it a nice color if you'd like. You can enter a description, it's not required. And then every inventory room will have 3 kind of settings available. The sales floor room is typically always going to be the default room. That's where, your sellable inventory is, most of your sellable inventory is going to sit. And then these other 2 visible settings is the inventory that sits in this room, do you want it visible at the point of sale? And then, do you want this inventory to be visible to your online menus? So if we're talking about like a quarantine room, these are products that need to be returned or destroyed. You would probably have both of these visible settings disabled. But that's, it's pretty simple when it comes to inventory rooms. And then this will come into play when we cover inventory intake as well, about, where they can have their inventory saved when they do accept a manifest. If a inventory room is marked not visible to online menus, the inventory in there will not it won't show in the API. So something to keep in mind when we're pulling e-com into context.
Hey, Julia, quick question. Can we have multiple rooms marked as default, or can only one room be marked as default?
Yeah, so I just went over this with Chloe. It's a little confusing. There's a small bug right now where it does allow you to mark more than one room as default. So like I can have this room be default, and then I can also, oh, just kidding. I guess they say they fixed it. Answer is no, only one room can be marked as default, which is how it should be. And I guess if you try and make another one as default, it throws up this error. So yeah, only one room is default. And there was a small bug around this as well. It might have been fixed along with this bug, but when they are intaking manifests, the room that is marked as default should be the room that is listed on each lot. And then if they want to, update that for a specific lot, they can on the intake form. But yeah, only one room is default now, which is great. Good question.
Can we see which one is? Like, where's the best way to find out which one is default?
Yeah, so it's not really surfaced here on the main page, but if you just click edit on any of your rooms, you'll see which one is marked as default. So right now it's our sales floor. We'll see that the rest are not marked as default. Good question. So the next place I am going to navigate to is our product details. So I'm trying to think, a lot of us are familiar with Leaf Logics, and they refer to it as like the product master. And then they have batches, right? So same thing in Jane Point of Sale. Your product detail is going to be similar to the product master in LeafLogix. It's like the skin or the shell of a product, if you will, has nothing to do with inventory stock or I guess potency or anything like that. It's really just the product name, brand, price, things that are pretty constant no matter what batch you're selling through. So let's go ahead and open a new product detail form here. So everything you see here is the information that lives at the product detail level. So you can assign a brand. You're going to assign a product type. So maybe these are pre-rolls, and then you can enter your product name here. So, whoops. So yeah, maybe we're doing 2727, and this would be pre-roll, Gorilla Glue, 1 gram pre-roll. You don't need to enter an internal product ID. This is actually automatically generated when you create a new product. This is a really great feature in Jane Point of Sale. If we have a partner who has multiple locations, there's a setting where they can share product details across locations. So this really helps with keeping their point of sale naming conventions really clean and standardized across all stores. Also helps our content teams so that if they map an alias for one of their locations, that alias is now mapped for all of their locations. The only disclaimer I would give for this setting is that if someone were to change the product name, so they come in here, like this is a product detail that's being shared across 4 stores. And if someone came in here at one location and changed the name to Gorilla Glue number 4, it would change the product detail at all locations since it's being shared. Here, they're going to add their price. So maybe this is a $10 1 gram pre-roll, and then they can mark this product as discountable or not discountable. Really nice feature as like a fail safe of like, hey, this is a super special item that we get really low margins on, so we never want any discounts to apply. So even if they had a discount set up that, you know, would apply to all of their pre-rolls, it would not apply to any that were marked as not discountable. And then here is almost like a visibility setting. So is this product going to be available everywhere or at the point of sale only? Everywhere would include their online menus. Point of sale only visibility is like a good use case for like bud tender samples where they still need to be able to sell it at the point of sale, but they obviously don't want it, you know, showing on their online menu. Then they can add a strain, select a flower type, and then weight per unit. This is a 1 gram unit. And then if they want to add a description, they can. They can also upload an image. Fun thing about Jane Point of Sale is we can pass product images, descriptions, and lineage to eCom. You'll see though in Jane Point of Sale, we do allow them to select Indica or Sativa hybrid. If a product is selected as Indica hybrid, that information will pass to eCom as just Indica or, you know, just Sativa. I would say the most important piece of information on the product detail page is going to be weight per unit. Tech support, you might be pretty familiar where partners reach out and they're like, it's really weird. Like my 1/8 is showing at our quarter price or something. You know, they might have this as like a 3.5 gram in the product name, but what they have entered here is 7 grams, and we'll always be mapping for weighted products. We'll always be mapping to the weight that they have entered in this field. If they don't have a weight entered in this field, then the product won't map at all. So this is a pretty important field. This is also what's going to count against their purchase limits. So just I would say on product details, this is the most important. And then if they wanted to add a tag to this product detail when they're creating it, you can go ahead and select the tag here. They can always apply tags afterwards after the product detail has already been created as well.
So the reason they could potentially save this without entering a weight is for items that don't have a weight, like beer or something.
Yeah, something like that. I'm going to back out to the product detail page again. all of our pages here, the product detail. So there's kind of, I view inventory in 3 layers. We're at the product detail page. The next layer is going to be the inventory level, which we'll go to next. And then the deepest level is really the lot level. All 3 of these pages have like these filters on the left-hand side, so partners can easily, navigate and find the products they're looking for. So let's say I am looking for all of my like solventless products, and they tagged these products with the solventless tag. They can, okay, we don't have any products with that tag, but there's a bunch of ways they can search. Fun tip, this is helpful when you are doing kind of onboarding training calls, is the search button is always down here. But if you are applying some filters here, and maybe we want to select a brand, instead of like going all the way down and hitting the search button, if you just click into one of these typable fields and hit enter, it'll run the search for you. So again, we don't see any like quantity on hand or anything on the product detail page. It's just the details of the product. Now, there are some things your partners can edit in bulk from the product detail page. So I'm going to check a few of these. I'm going to hit edit checked. And you'll see all of these things are what they can edit in bulk at the product detail page. So currently, these are all under pre-roll product type, but maybe we need to move them to the infused pre-roll product type. We can do that. Pretty much anything you see here is editable in bulk. So we covered product details here. I'm going to go down to the next level of inventory next, but real quick, something that is super helpful for our partners, especially right after they go live, since we're migrating data from their previous point of sale. A lot of point of sales don't make it easy to manage their inventory and keep their inventory data clean, is we have these really quick product detail auditing reports here. So again, we talked about why product weight is a really important piece of data. If they want to run a report to look at all of the product details they currently have that's missing this information, they can just click this button. And now we see here are all the products that are missing product weight. Al pointed out paraphernalia doesn't need weight, but flour, we definitely want to have the weight entered. So you can click into the product, hit edit. I don't know why that is showing as missing weight. It is definitely showing weight. Sellable. Okay.
Because it's 7.0, should it just
Yeah.
be?
It is 7.0. It should be 7.0. I think maybe there's a small bug with this. I've seen this before where it's showing products that do have a weight. I think this is a good one. So sour fun concentrate. If we click it, edit here. Yep, this is missing weight per unit. So this one, maybe it's a 1 grammer. So they can use these little quick auditing reports to just update any product details that are missing important information. Let's see. And those quick audits are available for weight, brand, strain, and flour type. Yep. Going down to the second level of the inventory tier, which is just the inventory page. This is actually like the meat and potatoes. This is where most of the action is going to happen. Another quick tip is if you're like, gosh, I don't know, I feel like I have some filters set on the left-hand side. I'm not seeing everything I should. There is a quick clear button here, so you can clear any filters that are sitting here. And this will get you to viewing everything that's available. And this is inventory, so your stock that you have. And it's going to show you the on-hand quantity here on the right-hand side. And then we have sellable, and we'll go into what the difference is between sellable and on hand. It's also going to show you velocity here. Velocity on this page is going to be like based on the number of units you've sold in the last 30 days. It's going to show you like the number of units sold per day based on your sales over the last 30 days. And you can sort by any of these headers here. So is this right? Is this not working? Huh. I feel like there's a bug here. Why is this? I don't think our sorting is working on this page correctly right now. But no worries. They can also, use this in stock only checkbox to only look at products that they have in stock. It's really not working. Okay, there we go. Now it's working. So now we see the products that we have the most inventory of up top. And then let's see if the velocity is working as well. Yep. Here we see if they sort by velocity, they can kind of look at their like fastest selling products.
What does a decimal mean? Like 0.79, 0.36? What is that representing?
Yeah, so this would be like this SKU, this product particularly is selling at a rate of about 0.79 units a day.
Thanks.
It's not very, that's probably not in line with what most of your partners are going to see because this is just a demo environment and we're not running as many sales, but it gives our partners an idea of like how quickly certain SKUs are selling, they're kind of best sellers, if you will. And so that can help their buying team manage like how often they're ordering or how much they're ordering from certain vendors. Now, if we click into a product, let's use this wild edible here. When you click into a product, it's going to list, if it has multiple lots, it's going to list all the lots that you currently have. I would be careful if there's like a ton of lots. It's not actually going to show you all of them on that list. You'll have to like click see all related lots if the list is super, super long. But here we see all the lots when each lot was accepted into their inventory. This column shows like how many was initially accepted when the manifest was accepted. And then this column is going to show, how many they have left of that lot currently. And then up top here is going to show the total units out of all the lots. Now on hand is all the units that you have on hand in your system of this product, no matter what the status is, no matter what room it's in, so on and so forth. And then your sellable units is exactly that. It's what can be sold. So this is going to exclude any lots that are closed, any lots that are locked, any lots that are in like a room not marked for point of sale. It's also going to exclude units that are sitting in pending online orders. So with pushback integration, as soon as an order shows up in the point of sale through pushback, those units are reserved and will be deducted from the quantity that is sellable at the point of sale, as well as what's sellable on their menu. And then now we see also this e-com units. The difference between sellable and e-com is it's just going to exclude any of those units that are marked for point of sale only or are sitting in an inventory room that is marked for point of sale only. So kind of 3 layers of inventory availability here. Any questions so far?
I got one.
Yeah.
For that inventory deduction for sellable, is that only when pushback is active?
Correct. Only when pushback is enabled.
So like green to go wouldn't have any inventory deduction? No.
I mean, they could, what do we do? Don't we have like some sort of active inventory deduction or something that we do for point of sales that don't have pushback where we deduct the units that are sitting in pending Jane online orders in our retail dash and deduct it from the quantity we're seeing in the API. I don't know if we have that set up for Jane point of sale, just because, most of our Jane point of sale partners are going to have pushback enabled.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think we have that set up yet because of that, but I guess kind of off of that point, hopefully this is just a tangent that not too many people are doing, but without pushback, but if they're building the orders as soon as they come through, then it'll still deduct for us, right? Like as long as they're building the orders as soon as those items come through, even if they have pushback off.
Yep. Yeah.
Cool.
On the like blood tender interface, as soon as products are scanned into a cart and saved as a filled cart, those units will be deducted from the sellable units. But with pushback, you actually don't have to even scan the products into the cart. As soon as the order hits the order pad, those the units are kind of deducted from the sellable units, if that makes sense. Okay.
And Julie, just to confirm, in the API for Jane point of sale, the total units that are available, it's going to be the e-com inventory that flows through, right?
Yes, good shout. Yep. Actually, I need to pull up Postman because this will be good for potency as well. Let me pull up the CDC. So in Postman, we are going to see quantity on hand is right here. So quantity on hand, this is always going to be the e-com units in the gray box. If sometimes like the data for these units gets like backed up for some reason, and they'll be like, I see when I count up, like total up the quantities here, it is not lining up with what's showing here, which this is what typically shows in the API. So it can cause some issues if it's not lining up. There's a really great like reset button here, sync quantity on hand. So if ever in doubt, you're like the API quantity does not look right. These don't look right. This doesn't break anything. It just kind of like resets the quantity on hand. So when in doubt, don't be afraid to use that button. Over here on the right-hand side, these are kind of like your inventory details. So we see the cost per unit of this product, before tax prices, after tax prices. And then what's great is if someone were to change the price of this product, so right now we see this is $32, but let's say someone came in here, like we're going to change the price to $34 and they hit save. The inventory detail page will always show what the previous price was if there was a price change. So we see that the last price was $32, it's now $34. And you can actually see this in our API as well. So price sense is going to be the current price. And if there was a price change, the last price is going to show what the previous price was. And then here we have some great links. So if we break down the margins, it'll show you what margins you're currently making on this product. Let's say they're like, I'm not happy with 57% margins. I actually want to make 60% margins on this guy. If you do that and hit save, it will actually adjust your retail prices for you so that you are making that 60% margin. And then you can also break down the taxes, and it's going to show you, the tax amounts that's going to the taxes you have set up in your portal. Now we see this threshold field, and this can be confusing. This has nothing to do with menu thresholds. This is strictly an inventory management sort of buying tool threshold. It's more like a par level. So let's say this is a super popular product. It's one of our best sellers. We make great margins on it. So I never want to run out of this product ever. And I know that it sells super quickly. So whenever the quantity on hand hits 100 units, I want to make sure that this is flagged. This product is flagged. So our buying team knows that they need to place an order. You can go ahead and do that and set an inventory threshold there. So just want to be really clear, this has nothing to do with e-com. Weight per unit listed here. Now these are potency values. We see 3 columns. This first column is going to be the current column, and that's first in, first out. So it's reflecting the potency of the oldest active lot. And then we have the lowest value and the highest value out of all active lots. And if you click, so we have multiple lots listed here. If you click into a lot, this is going to be your lot detail page. And this is kind of where those potency values will be entered for each lot, which will, kind of play into what values we're showing here. Now for e-com, we are always going to be looking at the current potency values. So when we look at the API here we go. So THC, CBD, we have a current value for THC and a current value for CBD. Again, these are the first in, first out values. If a partner wants us to look at the high or the low, Abe can make that update, but by default, we're always looking at current. And then there's a really great notes section here. So maybe a retail partner is like internal policies. If you ever change the retail price, you have to leave a note. So let's say I'm changing the price back to $32, be like changing price to 32. Do that. And when I hit save, there's just a nice little kind of log of any notes that they want to leave for other people on their inventory team. And then down here is latest inventory transactions. This is really just a log of all of the activity that has happened to this product across all lots. Inventory people find this really helpful when there's like discrepancies or things were moved or adjusted and they're like, what happened when? Our system kind of logs everything. Now, from this inventory detail page, this is going to be showing all activity from all lots. But if you click into a specific lot, it's going to have the same inventory transaction report here, but this is going to be specific to just this lot here. And then let's see, so we did inventory detail page. I think I want to go to product types and product tags next. Actually, let's jump to lots next. So this page is kind of like the final layer of inventory. I'm going to clear my filters, and it's pretty much everything we saw on the inventory page, but now it's broken out by specific lots. You can see what status the lot is in, as well as what room it's in, and then how many units are still remaining in each lot. And this is good if you like want to take a look at all the products that you have in your quarantine room, maybe and take a look at that and just look at those lots. And then this page is also, sorry, I'm going to back up real quick. From our inventory page, there are bulk editing options here as well. So we're going to select a few of our products from the inventory page, and we can change the status of the product, whether it's discountable, update the supplier, price. And then again, this is the inventory reorder threshold, not the e-com threshold. And then from the lots page, same thing. There are some bulk editing features here. From the lots page, if we want to move all of these lots to a specific room, we can do that here. And then we can also update some of these other data points for the lots we have selected. Right. So when a partner first onboards, Deal Desk is going to take care of this from the get-go. We're going to migrate all their data from their past point of sale, and all their product types will be set up ahead of time. But something to point out, what information does live at the product type level is, well, what's important, most important is taxes. So partners will set up their taxes separately, which Deal Desk will do ahead of time for all new onboardings. So we're going to set up their tax rates here, but then we have to apply those taxes to every product type. So here are the two taxes we have set up, and do these taxes, apply to this product type, and then, do patients or recreational customers, get these tax rates waived for whatever reason. So this has to be done for every product type. And then purchase limits also live at the product type level. So this is where they would apply. The purchase limits that they're able to select is set up in like our active admin of the point of sale. And this should be done ahead of time for every market we're entering, but it should be pretty standard for each market once we've kind of got everything set up in active admin. Like I said, all their product types will be set up and taxes applied and purchase limits applied when they launch. But let's say they've launched and they're like, yeah, you know what? I want to break out all of my pre-roll packs, which are currently assigned to the pre-roll product type. I want to break them out into my own category. So they, let's say they create a pre-roll pack product type. Again, our partners, if they're going to create a new product type, they need to make sure that once they save it, oh, whoops, I have to select whoops. Okay, perfect. Once they create a product type, they need to assign the taxes. And then they also need to assign a purchase limit, which is going to be this one. So that's number one, and very important, taxes and purchase limits. But the next thing they need to do is they do need to add this product type to their menu feed. So our e-com is looking at an API that is feeding data based on this menu feed that's set up. And this will be set up ahead of time when they launch as well. But if they were to create a new product type after they launch, they need to make sure they come in here and edit their menu feed. Whoops. Edit their menu feed and make sure that they add this new product type to their menu feed. Otherwise, all the inventory that they move to this new pre-roll pack product type are not going to be showing in their API until it's been added to their menu feed. We also need to give Terry and team a shout in case we need to update their menu configuration to read that new product type. But I think that is a really, really common case that comes through is I'm not seeing like a bunch of products on our menu. And then if it seems like they're all falling under one category, I would ask them, what product type do you have assigned? And then is that product type showing in your menu feed? Last thing I want to cover is product tags. We kind of went over how to add a product tag when you're creating a product detail. Those product tags already existed, but a partner can create as many product tags as they'd like. So from here, it's kind of weird. You would think that like clicking this create product tag button would open a form, but it doesn't work like that. You actually this is the form. So maybe you want to do like 420 promo items. We want to tag them with something and we want that tag to be green. And then we have a couple options. Is this product tag a store tag or a merchant tag? Again, if your partner has multiple locations under one merchant account and they want this tag to be available at all locations, you would make it a merchant tag. This setting doesn't really matter for just single store operators though. And then we are going to create this product tag. And then there's several places where product tags can be applied. Again, when you're creating a product detail, you can do it there. We kind of showed you how you can do it in bulk from the product detail page here by checking a bunch of products and then adding the tag there, or they can also do it from this product tag page. So all you have to do is go to the manage products button, and then maybe we are looking for like all of my 27 pre-rolls. I want to be a part of our 420 promo. And what they can do, let's see, is once you have all of these products pulled up, if they hit this add button, it's going to apply that tag to all of those products in bulk, which is super nice. So we're going to give our system a little bit to run that update.
And delete just deletes the tag, I'm assuming.
Yeah, great. You're on to it, Lauren. Yeah, I mean, this is something, especially Greenbits partners, you guys, managing tags is such a nightmare. It has to be done like one by one, product by product. So this bulk tag management feature is really, really nice. Our portal is taking a little bit to think here. But yeah, same thing. If we wanted to come to this tag management page for a specific tag, you can actually delete individually with these buttons, or you can delete it from all the products that it's currently on using the delete all button. Okay, never mind. Okay, here we go. So we're looking at all of our products with their clearance 40% tag. You can delete from single products using these buttons or deleting it from all here.
Available.
Yeah,
Thanks.
so we talked about that inventory reorder threshold. That comes into play, comes into action in a couple of places. So first, I want to show them the inventory reorder report. This is something that inventory and buying team is probably going to use a lot. And it uses that reorder threshold here. So this report, like let's say let's see here. Okay, so looking here, it's showing all of your products. And then there's this date range. Right now it's set to 14 days, but let's go ahead and change it to like the last 30 days. So based on the date range that's set, it's showing you how many units you sold in the last 30 days, and then how many units you currently have on hand. And then based on those two numbers, it's showing you how many days supply you have left of that product. So you can tell, like, obviously this is something buying team would really use heavily of like, okay, let's see how many, like what products I have really short supply of, and then they can place an order for these products. They can also toggle to this section, which is all products that are under their reorder threshold. And most retailers are not going to set a reorder threshold for all of their products. Typically, they're setting a par level for products that are like they're making a lot of money on it. They never want to run out of it. But if they set a threshold on a product, they can use this report and toggle to view all the products that are currently under the reorder threshold. They can also, under inventory settings, schedule an automated email to that will send a report of all products that are under the reorder threshold. Maybe they want it to go out weekly, monthly, or daily, and they just need to enter the email addresses here for the recipients. And then some other inventory settings available here. Most of this will be set by Deal Desk before they launch, but I don't know, should I go over this right now, Rich? Maybe some things I will highlight is sharing product details. We talked about that. This is where they would enable that. Setting auto closing depleted lots. This means that if this is enabled, once a lot hits 0 units, it'll automatically close. Typically, we leave this disabled when they first launch because we want to give them a little bit of wiggle room as they're cleaning up inventory stuff. And then inventory strictness. If this is enabled, if a lot is at 0 units and it is not closed, our system won't let them sell below 0. Sometimes if retail partners don't have a really tight inventory, they like to keep this disabled, let their bud tenders sell below 0, and then just audit that inventory later.